You've decluttered and organized your entire house, but now you're noticing clutter creeping back in. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 8 tips to prevent clutter from coming back into your house. Hi, I'm Flora, your minimalism mentor and simplification coach for over 27 years. So you've done the work. You've decluttered your house, your cabinets, your closets, your garage, your storage spaces, and you're like, yay, this is it. You've organized all the stuff that's left because you know that that's one of the rules. Declutter first, then organize. And all of a sudden you start to recognize, wait a minute, this drawer isn't closing because there's too much stuff in it. Or wait a minute, this closet is getting a little bit packed. And you recognize that the clutter creep is real and clutter started to creep back in. So today, these 8 tips are going to help you to recognize the clutter before it comes in your house, or when it comes in, how to quickly usher it out. So tip number 1 is implement the 1 in, 1 out rule. This literally is exactly as it seems. If you bring something in, take something out. If you get a new jacket, okay, you brought that new jacket in, now take an old jacket out. If you have a new pair of boots, what pair of boots can you now usher out? This is the same thing with kitchen appliances, with all the things. If you bring new towels in, what towels are you replacing? And take those old towels, donate them to a shelter, or to, just depending on if they're still in good condition, to a thrift store. That brings us to tip number 2. Always have a donation box out to accept donations. This is going to keep decluttering top of mind for you. This is one of the easiest ways to prevent clutter from coming back in. And this is also one of the easiest ways to have clutter stay in your house and multiply and make babies is when you take that decluttering box away. And often when people are actively decluttering, they will have multiple boxes out so that family members as well as yourself can throw in and toss in all of your things that you're donating. But when you're completely finished, you're like, no, I'm good. I don't need to have this out. But again, this is kind of that catch-22, is if you have it out, you're going to actively keep decluttering. But if you take it away, then all of a sudden clutter has no place to go except for in your closets. And so again, some people, and I talked about this in some of my other videos, some people don't like having a declutter box out because it's a box, it's not really cute. So to help you with this, you can find a box that is cute. You can use a cloth bin. You can use like a wicker basket, a laundry basket, whatever it is that goes with your decor, and use that specifically as a donation container. But this is one of the easiest ways to prevent clutter from coming back in. Tip number 3 is to think about your purchases before you purchase anything. And you can ask yourself, will I end up donating this within the next year? Is this an impulse buy? Is this a trending purchase like those one-hit wonders that we see all the time on TikTok? Is it the new hot thing on TikTok Shop? Or is it a new hot thing that's out on YouTube that you're seeing everybody purchase? Really ask yourself those pointed questions before you buy, and it's really going to help you to curb your spending first and foremost, but secondly, prevent you hopefully from bringing those things into your home that might just be a trending impulse buy that you don't really need and you probably will only use just a couple of times. Which brings us to tip number 4, is delay purchasing things for 24 to 48 hours. Now, I'm not talking about groceries and hygiene stuff and things that you guys use all the time. But I'm talking about those pillows and blankets that you're like, oh my God, this is so cute. This is so seasonal. This is so whatever, fill in the blank, because we've all been there. And put it in your cart, note that website, or, make note of how much it is, because maybe if you come back in 24, 48 hours, it might be on sale. Who knows? But just because something is on sale doesn't mean that you need it. But waiting a few days allows for and creates a level of separation between your desire to buy or that impulse to purchase and the actual act of purchasing it. And again, this is going to weed out those impulse purchases and those things that you may or may not regret buying in the future, because like I said, we've all been there. I've had closets full of stuff that I purchased for a season. It was cute. Did I really need it? Probably not. And it ended up in a storage box, and then I got rid of it, and a lot of the things still had tags on. This brings us to tip number 5. Shop your house first before buying anything new. This is for everything, for clothes, for decorations, blankets, towels, pillows, gadgets, all the things. Shop your house first to see if, 1, do you really need to purchase the item? Maybe you already have it. And 2, is it something that you really need? Are you actually going to use this? And is there something that you could maybe use instead that you already have, instead of buying something new that's very, very similar? Now, this is a really important thing to think about as the seasons are changing. Right now, as I'm filming this, it's the end of October. Here in Phoenix, it's 62 degrees today. So that's cold for us. Of course, we're going to be busting out the jackets. It's also starting to rain frequently as well. And so don't go buy a new rain jacket. Look in your closet. Do you have a rain jacket? Do you have a jacket that you can use? Do you have galoshes? In the spring and summer, do you have a swimsuit that fits good? Like, really think about shopping your own inventory first before you bring new stuff in. And that kind of circles us back around to tip number 1, 1 in, 1 out. If you bring something new, take something old out. All right, so that brings us to tip number 6. Do I really need this, or do I just want it? This is a big one. Need versus want is a very real question that really helps to keep the clutter from coming back in. If you do purchase it, if you really are like, yes, I both need and want this, or yes, I need this, okay, where is it going to live? Where are you going to store it? Again, this is one of the things that we talk about in many of my other videos. Everything that you have in your home needs to have its own home. And where are you going to put it? Do you have space in your home to fill it, to house it? Because again, if not, it's going to be sitting out and it's going to add to the clutter. And this brings us to tip number 7, which is refuse to accept the freebie items when you're out and about. Just say no, especially if you go to big community events, the state fair. These freebies are typically really cheaply made, and they're usually like those plastic cups or the string bags, and they have somebody's logo on them, and you use them a couple times and they break, or they're just kind of impractical, or they give you like a bag full of stuff and like a koozie and, a bottle opener and all these random things, a keychain maybe. And they usually end up in some bin or basket, shoved in the back of a closet in a box, only for you to declutter 20 years later. So just say no. Just refuse it. Or if you need a bag, let's just say that you're at the state fair or you're at an event and you need a bag to tote. Let's just say that you're shopping and it's baked goods and you're like, ooh, yes. You can ask them, can I just have the tote? And because totes you can reuse, but again, there is such a thing as having too many totes. Don't come at me in the comments, but there is such a thing as having too many totes and too many bags of bags, or bags filled with bags of things that you get. So that brings us to tip number 8. Have a weekly or monthly reset of each space where you can review what is in the space and remove the obvious clutter. Like, this is a big, huge thing. When you do this, this allows you to refresh and review each space, and it's going to be so easy for you to see the clutter and just kick it out before it makes babies. So I hope hearing these 8 tips encourages you to start to really be vigilant in what you're bringing in, what you're purchasing, what's going on with your consumerism, and really be mindful about what you are bringing into your life and what you're bringing into the energetics of your space. Every single thing that you have, every single thing that you own holds energy. It holds the energy of where you got it, who gave it to you, the experience that you've had with the thing. And, memorabilia is a whole other ball of wax. I have a whole series of videos on sentimental stuff. And yes, when we go out and about and you get a freebie, you might want to keep it. Like when you go to medieval times and you get all the things. You get the bling and the sash, if you were given the sash, and the crowns and all the things. And it's very easy to accept and bring all that stuff into your space. And if you do bring it into your space, really give it a once over and say, okay, is this worth occupying and taking up my time now as well as in the future? And if not, get rid of it. Okay. So the clutter creep is a very real thing. Next week, we're actually going to be talking about how to do a proper reset of your home and when the best time to do a reset is. So if you would like my help with decluttering, not only your physical space, but all the other 9 types of clutter, I do have complimentary clutter strategy sessions. Click the link in the description to book your session. In the comments below, share with me your best tip that you have found that helps keep the clutter creep at bay. If you found today's video helpful, please like, subscribe, comment, and turn on that notification bell so you know every single time a video is released. For more support and resources, click the links below.